Deb
Spartan. What's up, waiting
Deborah
on
Schaefer,
YouTube?
welcome.
Waiting
This
on YouTube again, buddy?
is Sparta.
There it is. It's on, man. I don't know what's going on with that. Crazy. We got 41 people hanging out over on Facebook. Thanks to all new and old. We got Ellen Lartz, Deborah Schaefer. Oh my God. Just so many great, great, great people. Guys, I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to spin that wheel first or do you want to get in that Pittsburgh game?
Let's give something away real quick.
Hey, you know what? I like the cut of your jib, Scooter. So we're gonna spin this here wheel of destiny right over near. If you commented last week, your name is on there. There were over 57 entries.
Nice.
Over 500 and some odd comments. So thank you guys so much.
Yep. And the guys, just a reminder, you had the comment during the live show. If you watch the show later on and made a comment, we're not counting it, unfortunately.
It is defunct. All right,
Okay, okay, okay.
you guys
I
ready?
love this wheel. Ready? Let's
Isn't it
do it.
fun? Isn't it fun? Good luck, everybody. Here we go.
Good luck. Spin that wheel. Pew, pew,
She's
pew.
spinning.
Whoever the winner is, DM us your address. We'll get it shipped out tomorrow.
Joey Hatch.
There
Big
you
Joey
go.
Hatch won it. What's up, buddy?
There you go, Joey Hitch.
Hey.
Congratulations, Tremaine Edmonds mini helmet. It's got the COA on the bottom there. There's
Hell
your
yeah.
SIG. It's a sweet little mini. Enjoy it, man. It's just collecting dust here. Hope you enjoy that one.
Yeah, listen, that was from our boy Scooter's personal stash, just to give you guys a little thank you for being so damn great. So thank you for being so damn great.
Hey, if the fandemonium wasn't as great as they are, it's easy. I'll tell you what, you guys make it easy for sure.
That is the truth. And speaking of easy,
Look at
we
that.
played a game on Sunday. And, Scott, that's why, we just get along so well, man. You just serve me up softballs for segues. We played the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett's first start as a rookie QB. A banged up secondary on the Buffalo side. It was a nice, beautiful, windy little bit of day. And, we did a Sunday session that morning, Scott and Ryan and myself. And we had a couple predictions, and most of them all came true. So we were very happy about that. But let's start down south there with Jerry. Jerry, give me your overall synopsis, your nitty-gritty feelings about this game this Sunday.
The NFL is a tough league to play in. A lot of teams have 11 on one side, 11 on the other, 11 offense, 11 defense in their special teams. What makes or breaks a season is who's behind those 11. And for this first 5 weeks of this season, our depth has stepped up and became something that we've all been waiting for years to come. I think 6 out of 11 on the defense weren't starting, or they're all backups or secondary or rookies. So kudos to Bean, kudos to that coaching staff and everybody involved for getting the depth that we need to go 4-1 at the beginning of the season with half our roster dealing with injuries. My big thing, and I keep going back to it, is our defense let up 3 points this past week. I know it was a rookie quarterback, but he's still a decent quarterback. He's learning his way. They do have threats on that offense. They have Tomlin as their head coach. They're not coming out new. And this defense held together and kept them to 3 points with half of it missing. So I just keep going back. The front line, demolished again with 4 rushing most times. Dobson came in to fill in Tremaine Edmonds, had 11 tackles, had a sack. Didn't really shut down the middle like Tremaine does, but he still did a hell of a job. Made a lot of guys step up. We had a lot of firsts this game. Elam got his first pick.
Congrats.
Shakir got his first touchdown catch. Hodgins got his first reception.
Yep.
Am I missing anything? James Cook got his first
James
touchdown
Cook,
run.
Yeah. Leave a little meat on the bone for us, Jesus.
and to get back to James Cook, I mean, that run was quick, got through the hole, made a move, went, and that's the first touchdown involving a Bills player that didn't have anything to do with Josh Allen this season, which is a great start. Love it.
Super interesting stat. I thought that was I thought that was funny. I thought that it was funny that people were kind of making a big deal about that. Like, We're a passing team. Josh Allen is a man. Like, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a testament to the run game and all that stuff, but I don't know. I think the story of the day to me was the rookies. I think they showed out, like you were saying, man. To your point, Shakir, like, oh my God, dude. That guy is a steal. They were saying he was the steal of the draft during the draft, and I think they might be right, man. This kid has the best work ethic, the best attitude. That triple team that Josh threw that ball up to that.
I was gonna say, don't forget about that triple team catch.
Tell me that's not Josh Allen saying, "Prove it to me." Like, you're the only one that this is it. Like, it's either gonna go over your head. And think about what would have happened if you missed that ball. You see how James Cook's been treated through these first couple games with limited opportunities. Mm-hmm. I think Shakir, man, that A, they're playing confident. B, they know what kind of guy he is, and he went up and got that ball, and holy shit, I jumped right out of my chair, man. Mm-hmm. It was like, I mean, aside from the game was exciting for me. I'll watch a blowout any day, but like to see a young guy make a play like that, it just encompassed the whole day for me, man. That was beautiful.
I mean, he's going to make it difficult for that starting 5, starting 6 next week if McKenzie comes back for sure. Caught the ball in triple coverage. Caught the over the shoulder and the skinny post to the other sideline with no coverage over that, and was able to get the yards after catch for the touchdown. I mean, that's everything I noticed about him when we drafted him, is that yards after catch, and that's what Buffalo Bills are going after. Just everything in the blocking. And let's not forget about Isaiah Hodgins. Guys, 4 catches for 41 yards, I believe. He was more of the possession receiver, and he looked good doing it. Big ups to him, because when he came out of college, guys, he hurt his shoulder year 1, and he was out for the season. And his red zone numbers were crazy good. The Bills were going after him because of that stats. I think a lot of it had to do with why they drafted him, and he has never had the opportunity to prove himself. I think his lack of special teams ability played a role, but man, oh man, he showed up, showed out. Congratulations to you as a 4th and 5th wide receiver, getting 4 catches for 41 yards. That's good for him. I'm happy for Hodgins too. But we're talking about rookies, Jarrod. I am not gonna not give. I'm a quarterback guy. I'm not gonna not give Kenny Pickett some credit. The stats that he put up against this Buffalo Bills defense. Yes, he didn't throw a touchdown pass. He had an interception, but he completed 67% of his passes. His first game ever starting in the NFL had over 300 passing yards, and he had a rush for 10 yards. He connected with multiple different wide receivers and had a lot of different targets. So Steelers, I think you have something good in this situation. The Steelers need to keep this guy on starting every week through the thick and the thin, unlike what Miami did with Tua. I think they have something real there in Pittsburgh, and I'm wishing them the best of luck for sure. But he was another rookie that impressed me. I hate to go back and talk about the other team, but it was, other than not throwing touchdown passes, he looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, over 300 yards. It was a tough ask for him, you know. So
yep.
I don't know. I'll give it to him, man. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
We held him to 3. So
yeah, I mean, another thing that sticks out to this game is, and it's going to be key for this Kansas City game, is the Bills defenders kept everything in front of them. So even though he was making the catches, making the throws, they weren't going too far after. They're getting tackled right away, and that's a key component to Frazier's defense. I want to give a shout out to Quentin Morris too, who had a hell of a game as a tight end. He showed that he can produce when he's in there too.
Yeah, guys, Jaquan Johnson and Hamlin. That tells you that. I'm sorry, Swank.
No, it's okay. Go on.
Coach Frazier, he's got these guys, and it's not just Coach Frazier, it's Poyer and Hyde. They've got these backup safeties knowing exactly how to keep everybody in front of them. That's what the Bills do. That's how they're successful. And Johnson and Hamlin were able to do that, not only against Miami, except for that one deep ball that they lost to that Waddle's got. They kept everything in front of them. And with that defensive front 7, that's very dangerous. And I'm just glad to see that they're able to do that. It was me. I apologize.
Bush League.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Quentin Morris really fast, that fumble, you know, I was bummed out for him. I was hoping that he was going to get it. I think that part of being a rookie is not realizing what to do in certain times. At that moment, we didn't need those points right then, exactly right like that. And I think right there, it's like you wanted it so bad that you reached. And I think if he would have held on to it, he probably would have had it. But if he would have tucked it, they would have went at it again the next play. So
Hmm.
you live and you learn. Luckily, we were far enough ahead to where it didn't really matter. But that was the only bummer for me. Other than that, I thought he played a great game. I thought he had that one catch that he fully extended, and grabbed it with straight hands, pulled it in. I don't know. There is so much depth on this team. It is insane.
Hmm.
Harold Fuller says, should Shakir start at slot over McKenzie, even if McKenzie is healthy? What do you guys think about that?
I think you're going to see a healthy dose of every other play. There might be, instead of being 70-30, it might be more 50-50, 60-40. There's going to be, they know he can produce, bring him in for special things. Maybe have McKenzie doing those jet sweeps more. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the coaches decide. But I think Shakir made a name for himself, and you might see a little bit more split time action there.
I agree, Jared. I think what Crowder and McKenzie were doing, you're going to now see McKenzie and Shakir do.
Well, yeah, why not? I think it's not a bad problem to have. You're not going to have Crowder for a while. So, you know what? Mix them in, man. It's kind of, to me, it's more exciting because Shakir's ceiling is just out of sight right now. You don't know what this kid's capable of. And McKenzie, we know what he can do. We also know they really haven't utilized like that jet sweep or anything. Like, even last season, they didn't utilize it. So to see that kind of come back in and maybe have a 3 wide receiver set, maybe have McKenzie lined up in the backfield, like little trickery. There's another team that we might be talking about here in the next couple minutes that likes to pull that kind of little shit. It'd be nice maybe to give them a little taste of their own medicine, not knowing exactly where to go. The only other person I wanted to talk about, really, and I mean, we could spend hours and hours and hours on this game, I feel like. But for me, my last point is going to be Mr. Gabe Davis. This dude came out. He showed you exactly who he is. There's no more injury. There's no more, oh, my God, he's not catching balls in the rain. 98 yards. 3 plays into the beginning of the game, a 98-yard pass to tie the longest touchdown pass thrown by a Buffalo Bill or caught by a Buffalo Bill in Mr. Ryan Fitzpatrick and T.O. Now, add to that list Josh Allen and Gabe Davis. That was an amazing touchdown. Not my favorite of the day. My favorite of the day was the one-hander that Fitzpatrick tried to yank out of his hand, and he manhandled him.
Oh, yeah.
Ripped it out, and that's a touchdown. Tony Romo's call on that play got me juiced. Like, it's like he took a play out of Kyle Brandt's book or something when he was calling that, because that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, my God. But you could just see there was no way Gabe was letting him have that, and he ripped it right out, and I was just like, that is a grown man. Like, both of those dudes, Fitzpatrick is like a known commodity in the NFL, a bad dude, probably the best player on that side of the ball at that point in time. And Gabe Davis said nope. And I love it. This is what Gabe Davis gives you. He gives you that long threat. Still without the speed, but he is just a solid route runner that will get where you need to be. They said that he knew that was going to be a touchdown before they snapped the ball. The safety cheated one way. The corner wasn't quite where he was supposed to be, and Gabe knew if there was the protection held up, Josh was going to put it right in his hands, and he was going to be gone. And it's like, to me, that's insane. That's next level shit that you're like, this is what we've always wanted from this team, So.
Even Diggs said that. Even Diggs said that when they called Gabe's number on that play and knew what the situation was. He's like, Gabe's going to score on this one. But Swank, we heard in preseason that Gabe Davis gained 20 pounds in muscle. So that's an all-pro safety that you just ripped that ball from one-handed, brought it in. Fitzpatrick looked like he had it, and Gabe Davis said, nah.
That was a skinny post again.
Skinny post. He's good at that. It's the size. It's the size and the strength, and I think we can put this ankle question, we could set that down now because he looked fast. He was crisp on his routes, and Gabe Davis is back, fellas. Gabe Davis is back.
He is back.
Twitter is a very dangerous place if you're an NFL fan, especially if you're friends with Dolphins or Patriots or AFC East teams. And one of the things
would you
that
ever be friends with them.
They're family. But something that sticks out to me is someone made a post on Twitter saying Gabe's not as who he thinks he is he Bills fans because it showed his stats so far this year, and people were ripping them apart saying he's been injured, and then Gabe does this weekend, and all I could think about is going back to that post and be like, yeah, he is what we thought he was.
It's receipt season, you know. I think it's weird for us to be in this position as a fan base because for so many years we lived in the shadows and just so much hope and, you know, cheering for a team knowing that they weren't that good or cheering just because you're a Bills fan, man. You cheer for whoever adorns those colors. And I feel like we've earned, you know, a victory lap. We've earned having a little fun online. And I think a lot of it's balanced and canceled out. Like, for anything negative that's out there for the fan base, we do so much good for the charities and, like, how much fun are games and the support online and just, you know, I think there's a certain level of jealousy is what's going on. And we're having so much fun, and we didn't for so many years that people are like, oh, you're still a Bills fans, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, you can't even take it. I wish I had every single tweet from the last 2 weeks of the Miami Dolphins sitting on top of the division there for those, you know, those couple days. You know, I saw a tweet with that they were going to hang a AFC East division championship banner that was like from 9:25 to 10:08 or whatever.
Yeah.
It just
someone actually had the parade is Sunday, October 22nd. It was like someone had it all written out. I thought that was so great.
Yeah, that's great. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. I think it's comforting to me to know that we're good for a while. You know, like it's just we say it all the time. Enjoy it. Enjoy the time. Mm-hmm. We all know. Yep. We all know how bad it can be sometimes, and this is the cream. So enjoy it. But Scott, any other one-offs about this game?
I just enjoyed how the defense was able to handle Pittsburgh. Leslie Frazier's got an understanding of all the people on their roster, and he knows how to utilize them. We're not seeing a lot of blitzes, and I was thinking about this today when it came down to blitzes and James Cook. I don't think the Bills are showing a lot in those jet sweeps. I don't think they're showing a lot what they can do if they have to, which is good because come playoff time, you can bring some of that stuff out and throw everybody up for a loop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this week is like one of those times where
you might want to pull something out of the hat this week.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, having the depth that we talked about earlier. And Paulette Brown says, welcome, Paulette, that she thinks McKenzie might be out another week. The depth again is going to sit there and allow our players to come back for games that have big, mojo to it. So everyone I bet you half the people that sat this week, like Tremaine Edmonds, they were just sitting just so they knew they could for a minute to get healthy.
Who knows?
Yep. I had that same thought. I think some of those dudes probably could have went. I'm glad they didn't. I'm really hoping Poyer's back for this game.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. God, I hope Tremaine practices too, to be honest. Dodson did a great job. It's just to have that familiarity, have our defense. Like, I didn't look up this stat, but does it seem like Patrick Mahomes has gotten away with not playing Tre'Davious White for like 3 out of the 5 times that we've all been together here?
Yep, true.
It just blows my mind a little bit. That and the home games, like 5 out of the last 6 have been in their building, including playoffs. I know that there's a certain way that these things go, and I'm not trying to complain or anything, but Jesus, can we get them in Buffalo one time? My God. Drive me crazy.
AFC Championship game will be there, Swank.
I like it.
But no, you're right. 5 out of 6 games, Mahomes got to play at home against even half of those times a Tre'Davious less defense. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Rob Mullen saying, "Don't be surprised if Cook is unleashed on the Chiefs." I like that, man. I felt real good about James Cook. It was nice to see him get that TD. I sent these guys a little Twitter deal. Somebody reposted it. I'm sorry, I forgot who it was, but James Cook got some beard oil sponsorship or something, and they did like a little ad on Instagram, and he's like holding it in front of a mirror with not smiling, and it's just like, after game day, like keeping my beard fresh, I use this whatever Beard Mountain Man beard oil thing or whatever, and like half the team started roasting him, and it is so funny. Like Diggs getting on him, like about how tight his little shirt is, that little ass shirt.
Yeah, little ass
like,
shirt.
making fun of him because his beard doesn't look that good.
I was gonna say, for those of you when he got drafted and the way he was reacting, he got a lot of criticism for that. But when the guy's relaxing, his face goes from smiling to, and it's just, some people have that resting bitch face. Some people just they don't look happy when they're relaxing, and unfortunately, he's got one of those people. He's one of those people that don't look the most excited when he's just relaxing, and everybody's jumping on him. And you just love to see the camaraderie and these guys picking on him. The guy's got a commercial. He's got a brand now, and congrats to him. But yeah, man, smile a little bit. Even Devin Singletary's like, man, smile.
Yeah. Well, I think it shows a lot that they can bust balls like that. Like that's all part of being on the team, and like they joke around. It's like they work hard, they play hard, and I think that's a sign of love and support more than it is anything else. So, it's just funny, man. If you guys can find it, it is hilarious. Emily John says, very hyped to see them up against KC. It's going to be a very back and forth game. Yes, it is, man. A lot of people are ready for this KC game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there he is. I was gonna get into Rattle the Reeds, but I was gonna, you good for a while here? What's going on? You all right?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
FH, right? FH. We'll call it an FH moment. Family happens.
Family happens.
I thought it was like when DK had to use the gator to go back to the locker room because he had to take a number 2.
Walk back there. I can't.
Sorry about that, guy.
All right. So I want to get to Rattle the Reeds. I want to talk about these refs a little bit, and we'll get into this KC game. Thank you guys so much for all of your comments. We're riding right about at 40 over here on Facebook. Don't forget that you can check out all of our stuff on YouTube. We got the Facebook group there. We got Twitch, Twitter. Also, I saw a comment. I'm sorry I missed it. I was going to put it up. We got talking into a discussion. There was a gentleman who said this was his first time viewing in live. Appreciate you, man. He said usually he catches us on Spotify. He's a truck driver. So, really cool, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for chilling out with us live on a Tuesday. And, of course, if you guys got any sort of question or comment, throw it out there.
Yeah, we'll try to hit it up for sure.
Try and hit it up. All right.
So, like, I'm just realizing one of the guys that are commenting a lot, Chicken Wing. Love that Facebook name. You see that?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some good stuff to say, man.
Oh, yeah, no, very good.
Stuff up.
Nice.
Let's see, Harold Fuller, Shaq Lawson looked like he was ready to kill Pickett at the end of the game. Yeah, I think he was.
And Shaq knows that he can get kicked out of the game because he's not a starter. So don't pick fights with people that are got nothing to lose in that regard.
Well, and Shaq and Leonard Fournette, I think everybody should have learned their lesson way back then. Was that 2 years ago? But anyway, so we do a segment. If you are new to the show or not, we do a segment on here called Rattle the Reeds. And that is where I bring up some sort of statistic or record, and these two dudes try to guess a list that I have found. Sometimes it's current, sometimes it's old. This week it is current.
Oh boy.
Now, in the 2022 season, after week 5, there are a number of teams, 10 teams in fact, that are in the top 10 of total offense. I would like you boys to guess what teams are in the top 10 of total yards per game this season in the NFL week 5. Feel free to play along in the comments.
7, 8, 9,
as these boys go to work.
I'm going to go with Bills number 1.
Well,
I already
if
knew
you
that.
didn't, I was going to kick you off the show, my man. Yes, your Buffalo Bills are number 1 in total offense so far for the 2022 season. They average 440 yards per game.
Another 500-yard game helps that out. Jared, I know number 2 right off the bat. The 5
Eagles,
and 0.
right?
Yeah, 5-0 Eagles. They're on
Eagles.
fire.
Yes, 419 yards per game.
KC's got to be in there.
They're doing it running and passing too.
KC is 381. Now, if you're keeping track at home, that is 60 yards per game less than the Buffalo Bills.
Greg Pfeiffer says the Lions.
He is right. The Lions are number 3 on this list with
Are they really?
411 yards per game.
Oh, those poor bastards. What, they don't have a defense? They don't have a defense.
No defense. And I can't
man.
believe the way that they got rocked this last week here. But
Thanks, Greg.
let me
Chris
catch
Christian
this
says the
list.
same thing.
Catch this list up here a little bit.
Thanks for that. I honestly probably, if he didn't say Lions, I probably would have left them out.
Yeah.
Jets?
No, the Jets just missed this list. They are at 356 yards per game, but they are 12th.
Well, Flacco's not passing the ball for him anymore, Jerry.
Right.
So they're
first
not gonna
couple,
be up there.
first couple weeks he would have been in there.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Brissett looking good there in Cleveland.
Well, they should. They're number 4 on this
And they
list.
have a whole bunch of, I think, 150 yards per rushing. These teams that have a lot of rushing yards are good. Actually, Cleveland's almost up to 200, I believe. So that's a skewed number. A lot of people are paying attention to the passing teams. We got some teams that are running the ball like crazy.
Well, let's see here. Passing, they are at 204 yards per game. Rushing, they're 192. So very close.
Okay. Chris Christian also says the Chargers. I'm going to have to go with him with the Chargers.
Yes,
I agree.
They are number 5.
Eckler tearing it up, running and catching, and obviously Herbert. Hey, they had that bad week after his rib injury, but he's back. He's back.
He back.
Scott, are your Raider you Carr and his Raiders? I know you like Carr. Is he in there?
Nah,
Raiders?
I'm not going to go Raiders. Are the Raiders in there?
Yes, they squeak into the not bottom. Oh no, sorry, they're 11. I thought they were.
How about Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay?
Yes, they are number 8, 362 yards per game.
Some guy, actually, I know this one too, Jared. A guy I just picked up who's having a hell of a season. Who would have thought Geno Smith would be doing what he's doing in Seattle? I picked him up this week in fantasy. I think I'm going to play him on the teams that I picked him up on.
What's he passing? Do you know he's passing right now?
He's 8th, and they have total yards 368 per game. Passing yards average is 246 per game, with a total of 1,230.
All right, Tua was up there passing the ball quite a bit. Are they still in the top 10 or no? Miami.
They are very far behind now. Yes, and this is total offense. So,
right.
They've dropped off just a touch since he went out.
Right.
But yeah, they're middle of the pack right now for the whole.
So who do we got? Start off the Bills. Who do we got so far?
The Bills, the Eagles, the Lions, the Browns, the Chargers, the Chiefs. You're missing number 7, I believe that is. You have the Seahawks, you have Green Bay, and you're missing number 10. So you're looking for 7 and 10.
How's Brady and the Bucks doing? Chicken wing.
Not good enough to get on this list.
Okay.
337 per game, 271 yards per game.
How about Cousins over there in Minnesota?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yes, well, that's number 10, buddy, up there in Minnesota. Yeah.
Okay,
well, before, and I no, this is a guess. Of
course it is.
I had Winston and Thomas on my fantasy team. They did really good the first 3 weeks, and now they're out every game. But I just saw what Taysom Hill did against
the Saints.
Yeah, the Saints in there.
Booyah! The New Orleans Saints at number 7. So for your list, you have the Bills, the Eagles, the Lions, the Browns, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Saints, the Seahawks, the Packers, and the Vikings.
There you go.
I thought it was an interesting way to look at her there. Total yards, a couple surprises. You guys did pretty good on that, though, man. But some of the names, like you're saying, I would have thought a Buccaneers Brady team would have been on there, but they just have not been performing up to normal Buck standards, I believe. I think Brady's he's getting a little washed. But
little scrub a dub.
That divorce is really getting to him.
You know what happens when you retire for 3 weeks and realize football's more, well, you think football's more important in your family. It puts a lot of stress on you. So
Yeah, yeah. Then your supermodel wife
I'm
disowns
sorry.
you.
I'm gonna say it. Patriot fans and Tampa Bay fans, if you did not like Tom Brady before now, here's now you know what we all knew before you found out all this information. The man chose football over his family. Enough said. Let's move on to the Kansas City Chiefs.
So looking at the top 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 teams in the top 10 with total yards that are have losing records.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Just
Goes
I,
to show you, right?
I heard someone said it's not fair. It's not fair to have the number one offense in the league and the number one defense in the league. It just doesn't work that way. And usually, with us being able to put so many points on the board, usually other teams are able to throw the ball and be effective and score BS points and late points and all that stuff, and it still does not happen. So we are in a luxury right now with all the injuries, being in a situation we are with their players and how well they understand the systems on both offense and defense and performing.
Yes, sir. Oh, really quick, we have Joey Hatch joining the show. And Joey, you might have missed it earlier, my man, but you won that Tremaine Edmonds mini helmet on the Wheel of Destiny. Buffalo Spartan would call it the Wheel of Death. I guess he's proven right once more
For himself.
But Joey,
Congratulations.
man, congratulations, man. We're so happy to see your name pop up. And shoot that address and we'll get it out to you.
Yep, good job.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, everybody's telling him that he won. Rob Mullen says, so with the Browns playing this well, do they pull Jacoby Brissett for Watson when they play us?
They're still 2 and 3.
I don't, because Watson's not eligible to play us, is he?
Week 11.
Yeah.
When do we play? Week 12?
But yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think Watson plays. I think as soon as they went through so much shit with him,
they're paying him a lot of money.
They got to try and get some kind of revenue back from him, right? Like, I don't know. And hey, if he does come out that game against the Bills, guess who's going to be the most rooted for team in the entire NFL that week?
I wonder if any of those linemen are going to do fuck you blocks.
Yeah.
Week 11 we play Cleveland. So is he suspended until week 11 or he comes back week 11?
I'm trying to find it out, but I remember it was he was coming back for the Houston Texans game.
Texans game.
Yes,
that's what I heard. And is that before or after they play us?
I'm trying to find out right now.
Harold Fuller, Watson can't play versus the Bills. That's what I thought too, buddy.
We're all looking up our Googles here.
Yeah, right.
The Houston game is 3 games after the Buffalo Bills game. So week 13.
Yep. So, that's his first eligible game.
So originally he was eligible to come back. What was it? It was a 6 game.
6 game, yeah.
And then
it would have been a 6.
Okay.
Yep. Then they pushed it back to the Texans game. Isn't that fitting how that works out? December 4th.
Crazy. The NFL, they're a bunch of dummies.
And speaking of the NFL and dummies, you want to talk about the whole roughing the quarterback situation?
Oh, sure, man. Let's do that quick because we got another game to get into. But yeah, what are your thoughts on them refs? I got a lot of thoughts about them, but what do you got?
Makes me nervous having a running quarterback because these little hits that are getting flags are on quarterbacks that don't really run. Correct? Like Tom Brady was a BS one. Derek Carr can run, but he's not one of the elite runners. That was a flag. And then what was the other one? That was like the quarterback was up in the air and came down on some guy's face mask, right? And they threw a flag on that.
I know there was a no call. There was a no call. Patrick Mahomes was slammed to the ground pretty hard, and nothing was thrown for him.
Yeah.
So my question is, I guess, guys, and Phantomonium, you can answer this too. Is a penalty for an unnecessary roughness on a quarterback, is that reviewable? Because the one that was on Derek Carr, he was sacked, but the defensive lineman, he put his one arm down, couldn't get his other arm to the other side to the point where he was bracing himself. Now, he didn't slam them to the ground. He didn't pile drive them to the ground. He just couldn't catch himself because his other arm was locked into the sack. Is this something you can review and say, He did make an attempt. It wasn't done. Wasn't intentional. Take the penalty back.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
can do
think
that
so.
with anything. Like I don't care if it's holding or pass interference. I think like literally, I know that there's like you got to keep these games to 3.5 hours because of advertising and all this stuff. But like, if you don't have the double header on channel, what the hell? Like nobody's watching bull riding. Like no, like what do you care if a game goes longer and it gets right? This is a multi-billion-dollar business. It is the most profitable and popular sport in the entire world. And my big thing with all this is like, yes, that should be reviewable, but it'll be a hot topic for this week. And if nothing horrible or blatant happens this week, they'll forget about it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Just like the concussion stuff. That is a serious hot button issue. And what's happened? We might have new rules in place as soon as next week. And what happened? Teddy Bridgewater got knocked on his ass, and then they put him into concussion protocol right away. And it was like, that's not what everybody wants.
Right.
People want him to. They just want people to be safe. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I don't want to see a dude's fingers twitching. I don't care what team he plays for. I don't care if it's Tom Brady. Like I don't want to see that because that's the end of a young man's career probably. Or if not, you're leading up to it. So for me, roughing the passer and this concussion thing kind of go hand in hand. You got a sky judge. You got the ref up there that can see everything. That can be like, hey, he stepped out of bounds. Mark that back at the line of scrimmage. They come out after further review or whatever, or after the huddle discussion, incomplete pass. It's that quick, like so. Do it, and pay people that give a shit about being a ref full-time wages to do nothing but be a ref.
Right.
The guys that
Ex-players.
are calling this game should have as much invested as the players that are playing this game.
And you know what, Swank? You have New York making a lot of those calls now.
Yeah.
I don't care if it takes you 2 minutes, a timeout, and all that stuff to figure out what's going on. New York's already looking at it. So it shouldn't be a whole process of them getting on the phone and talking to New York. New York, you got to act quicker. You saw what Tua did against the Buffalo Bills. You need to make the decision quick. If you're going to leave it in the hands of someone else, the decision needs to be made quicker, and it can be made quicker and more efficiently. So it won't take a lot of time off the clock if somebody's looking at it right away rather than the refs having to run over the sideline and make a decision. If you're gonna get New York involved, get them involved. Make sure the game is played correctly. Make sure the right calls are being made, and make sure Tom Brady doesn't keep getting games handed to him.
In college, for targeting, they replay that. They replay that penalty to see if them legitly kicking somebody out of the game can hold. So why don't they do this for unnecessary roughnesses or personal fouls in the NFL? They threw Epinesa out this past week because of the ref grabbed him and he went like that. So why don't you replay that and see that he didn't know what was going on?
After he was in a scrum and there's an altercation going on in the field and he's walking towards the sideline, why did the ref even grab his shoulder?
Yeah.
Right.
And
Why is he allowed to touch somebody?
Thing. If he reached out, if somebody just grabbed me and I didn't see, like, where, fuck yeah, I'd brush him off. And then, no upper lip, throw a flag, man. Like, I just
replay that.
It's so ridiculous. Well, why not? Also, like, if these doctors and lawyers weren't getting a little, 18-week vacation to go be in the spotlight for a couple hours and travel around, like, that's all these dudes are lawyers and doctors and, like, self-made guys that don't care about like the $75,000, $100,000 salary that comes along with being a ref in the NFL. Do you know who would cherish that kind of money? Like, do you know that is like serious money for like a lot of people in this country, and not just serious money for people. Like, there's people that would kill to do that job full time. There's people that love sports so much and ref high school games and college games and all this stuff that like they would literally kill to have that position and would dedicate their whole life to making it better.
And if you work on one game a week, that's only 20 days you're working the whole year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Joey Hatch, thanks for bringing it up, buddy. You want to know how it affects games? We can go back to the Buffalo Bills Houston Texans playoff game when Cody Ford was charged for blocking blindside. If you do a replay, they would have overturned that, and our Buffalo Bills potentially could have made a playoff run into deep in the playoffs. Perfect example. Take the time to get it right.
Did you guys watch the game last night?
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Did you guys feel like the energy in the stadium completely shifted after they blew that call, the roughing the passer call on Derek Carr with the strip sack? It was so hostile in there.
Oh, yeah.
And they were not quitting. Like, until they kicked that 3-pointer, like the field goal to go into the half, it didn't matter what happened on the field. The refs were getting booed for like a good 15, 20 minutes straight. And you could tell when they came back after the half, the guy's voice was breaking up when he had to call a penalty against the Chiefs. If he said anything, he was nervous as hell. And you're telling me if he's physically showing that side of him and his personality, that's not affecting whether he's going to call or wants to call that next call against the Chiefs, no matter what he does.
Going into halftime, it's a referee's bad decision just caused a whole bunch of beer bottles and cans to be thrown at the Raiders as they're heading into halftime.
Mm-hmm.
That was, and I'll be the first to tell you guys I'm a crazy fan, but as a fan, you have those beer cans and they can hurt people. That's irresponsible and stupid. I will call any fan that does that. That is ridiculous. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm sidetracking here, but I saw that and I was disgusted with NFL fans. That is pathetic, and the ref made the call, not the Raiders. So
we got Paul Kirkdorfer saying that this sounds like a good retirement job for Brent Thomason, and Brent agrees, and we agree. And actually, we're going to start a GoFundMe and a page, and whatever we got to do to get Brent Thomason out there. And I don't want any coin flips. I want a can flip.
There you go.
That'll be the longest, most swear-worded holding penalty you'll ever see.
Dude, I would watch it.
Number 78 would fucking hold that guy.
He was giving him the business.
There you go.
All right.
15 yards for being an asshole.
Yep.
I love it.
Love it.
All right, so let's get into this game. Week 6, going back again. I know it feels like we've been at Arrowhead. It's like a second home at this point. We've been there so often in the last couple of years. The 4-1 Buffalo Bills against the 4-1 Kansas City Chiefs. Title of the top of the AFC going to the winner of this one, I think. Arguably the two best teams in the NFL with the two most dynamic and exciting young quarterbacks that are going to be the new, if I dare say, the new Brady and Manning going forward for years and years to come. This one, it's an afternoon game, 4 o'clock start, 4:25, I think is kickoff. I'll throw it to you, Scotty. What do you got? What are you looking for? What do you want to happen? Give it to me.
We just got done talking about the refs. And I'll be one of those fans that I do notice. I do watch a lot of football, and I do see a lot of Arrowhead calls, and I'm going to call it the way it is. I said it last year, and we proved it last year. If you can keep Mahomes in the pocket, he's not dangerous. When he's able to extend the play, use his feet, when he's not very fast, but still he finds ways to make plays happen, that's when he becomes dangerous. But we also need the help of the refs letting these guys play. So many times yesterday, I saw the Raiders, who are a pretty good defensive rushing team with their front four, bringing pressure, being held, and nothing being called. So I just want a fair game. This is a big game that probably should have been a primetime game. 4-1 versus 4-1. There's going to be a lot of people watching this game at 4:25, and I think everybody needs to get it right. So, I mean, it's going to tell a lot, guys. This is a conference game. This is a playoff, potentially already in week 5, week 6, a game that is going to potentiate the seeding in playoffs and who's chasing who this next couple weeks. So it's a huge game for both teams. I just want to see the Buffalo Bills keep the foot on the gas like they usually do. And I want to see, after year in and year out, Leslie Frazier seeing this offense destroy him with a Tyreek Hill offense, Let's just say this. Tyreek Hill's not there. Mercole Hardman is there, who's fast. Let's pretend that this team is a normal team. They got good wide receivers, a great tight end, and a good quarterback. They don't have that speed demon that can beat you going deep, coming across the middle, taking advantage of that stuff. Let's just play our Buffalo Bills football, and I think we'll be all set.
Greg Pfeiffer comes up with the question of the night. And we got our boy Rob Mullen saying, great question. He's also, and Frank. It's so simple. Like when you're watching the game from home, like I was watching last night, who covers Kelsey and how? Double team that big dumb idiot. Why is he always open in the end zone? Do you know he scored
4 times?
He scored 24 points and had 25 yards last night. What? I mean, every time they were down there, even before the first one, I was just like, watch Kelsey. They're gonna throw it to Kelsey every time in the red zone like that. 4 times in a row, dude. I cannot stand it. And I was listening to the radio today, and they were Steve Tasker and Thurman Thomas were talking about it with Chris Brown, and Tasker was like, "Why don't they just check him at the line? You know, like why don't they put a guy on him and check him at the line?" And they were talking about, well, he goes into motion. Like, yeah. So then he tags out to the next guy that's guarding him, and you check him at the line. Like, put a body on that dude as soon as he comes off the line. I mean, even if it doesn't work all game, rattle his route. You know, like Jesus, something needs to happen. But yeah, I think that is the key to all this, man. I mean, Marquise Scaling, like, dude's got a case of the yips. He drops every other ball. You know, McKinnon's got some fire. They got great players. The thing I hate about Kansas City is you can tell when they come out on the field and where it's clicked. And it's like, what are they going to do and what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. And I think instead of, it's like playing a Brady-led Belichick team. Like, you got to throw stuff at them that you wouldn't throw at anybody else. You got to change it up so much. You got to send pressure. You got to do something that rattles his cage. Because if you don't, they're just going to play their game and march it all the way down. And they're not just going to, well, now we throw really well, so we're going to pass it the whole time. They don't do that. Those little stupid shuttle passes and run options. And, Jesus, Mahomes ran for the first time, I think, in like 3 years last night. I saw him take off, you know. And I don't know. You got to put him on his ass, and you got to get him rattled. That's the only way you're going to win this game and shut down Kelsey.
I think that shell defense that Leslie Frazier does is good. They finally have the defensive line. If our guys can come back healthy, last I knew there were no injuries for this last game. So Eddie Oliver, Phillips, Daquan Jones, Settle, all of them are coming back.
Phillips is a question mark.
Okay. Von Miller and Russo have come into their own. Russo had a stellar game last year against them in the regular season game. Mm-hmm. And I think that shell of a linebacker and corner with the 2 safeties deep, I think that's probably part of the reason why some of these guys sat last week. And I think that that's the answer to how you defend these guys. Milano and Edmonds did a great job against Andrews. They did a great job against Andrews. And I think Andrews is a better tight end than Kelsey. So,
I think so too.
If you can contain Mahomes, make him throw from the pocket, he's not that good from there, guys. I'm telling you that much. And then take care of Kelsey. Yes, bump him on the line. We have some physical corners now. Kyer Elam is known as a man-to-man press defensive back. If Benford comes back, he's 6'1", 200-something pounds. He's a good size guy that can cover him. Taron Johnson knows Kelsey very well, and our linebackers obviously know them very well. This is an experienced Buffalo Bills defense. Yes, we've got burned a bunch of times, but sometimes from all them burnings, you finally look at the wound and realize how you got that wound, and you start protecting yourself a little better that way. And I think the Bills will have that answer.
Kelsey's got a little age on his side too. He's a little older, so I think if you do put a body on him, if you keep jacking him up, he'll get his wins here and there. But if you're playing Mahomes with a tired Kelsey in the second half, that's a benefit to the Bills defense.
I'll take my shots at wearing him down, so that by the time the third, fourth quarter rolls around, he's so fucking freaking tired that, you know, God, I hate that guy. But if you wear him down the same way, I think him and Pat, you treat him the same way. You put a body on him as much as you possibly can. You knock him on his ass as much as you possibly can. Like, and make him throw to these wide receivers that he's only had for part of a season, and against a secondary that they're probably underestimating. I mean, Kyrie Elam got picked on like crazy this last Sunday, and he didn't fare as well as we all would have hoped. I mean, he got thrown on for like 135 yards, and that was the most all season. And they were talking to him in the locker after the game, congratulating him on his pick, and he went right to, I didn't play as well as I could have today. I gave up a lot of yards, and that's great. Self-reflect on that. You're not playing Kenny Pickett on Sunday. You're playing Patrick Mahomes, so don't get baited in making these stupid decisions, Hopefully JP's out there, and he can help you over the top, get these young kids in position. I mean, I still think they gave up 3 points, man. Like, they're doing a hell of a job. It's just, I hate that we always get in these positions against the Chiefs, and it seems like we're banged up in the secondary, and then they play their feel it out first half and then come in the second half, and, it's off to the races, and I'm done with that. I want to see Vaughn put this dude on his ass. I want Greg to, I don't know. Hopefully this was Eddie dipping his toe in this week. I think he played a great game. He didn't show up on the stat sheet, but nobody said he was playing bad, but maybe working through that injury, coming back, and hopefully this week he comes in and they just wreak havoc on this line, and put him right where he needs to be.
You guys alluded to it already once. You guys alluded to this already once, and Frank Mullen brings it up. Yeah, you have to mix up these schemes as best as possible. And I think the fact that we do have those 4 up front studs make that possible, where you can bring 4 and then bring 5 and then bring 4 and then bring 6. You're going to have that constant pressure.
That's why I want an evenly called game. If these refs are going to call holding, call them unlike you did last week or yesterday against the Raiders. Because like I said, the Raiders have a good front 4. Call a fair game, and you will see a fair game.
Chicken Wings asking, Benford is out for most of the season, right? Broken ankle. No, he has a broken hand.
Yeah, he had surgery on that. It's fixed.
2 weeks, 3 weeks ago.
He potentially could be back this week.
Which would be great as far as depth goes. Somebody was asking about Trey. Nothing so far. He was eligible to start practicing last week. I think you're not going to see him until after the bye. I think all 3 of us think that.
Yep.
Oh, somebody's trying to call me, and I don't care. All right, guys. Offensively, is there anything on this defense real quick that worries you?
Well, the whole offensive conversation is something I was trying to get to with this whole defensive conversation. You want to tire Kelsey out and make Mahomes frustrated? Have them have to come back by 14, 21 points constantly. We scored, we're coming back. Damn it, they scored again. Make them frustrated. Force them to make mistakes. And you can do that if you, like I said, keep Mahomes in the pocket. But, yeah, Jones hasn't made a name for himself yet this year. He's an all-pro defensive end. There's going to be a game where he shines, Jarrod. I agree. And I think our offensive line is pretty healthy where they can contain him. Like I said, we have 5 years of film on these guys.
There's another cornerback out there, L'Jarius Sneed. He's leading the team in sacks and in second in tackles. He's a threat on that defensive side that likes to blitz, so he's another guy that you have to worry about on that defensive side. And another thing that we didn't talk about is sometimes you talk about how do you keep Brady at bay or how do you keep these quarterbacks at bay? Well, keep them on the sidelines. This past week we had a lot of big plays by Allen. Bam, score, right? But we've also seen this season that they've taken 11, 12, 13 plays and drive down and score. So we'll see what the offensive scheme is to keep their offense off the field. Because if you go into halftime and you only have 4 or 5 drives, how are you going to change? Because you don't really know what you have yet. You know what I mean? If you keep their offense off the field. So we'll see. It'll be interesting.
I like it. I mean, I don't think that the Chiefs' defense is like anything to write home about. They're pretty middle of the pack. Yeah, like right dead in the middle if I'm looking. What I was just looking up was, let's see, they beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals' defense is below the Chiefs' defense. Middle of the pack, probably around 20th. They beat the Chargers barely. The Chargers
Rival
defense lower. Jesus, where are they?
20s.
Yeah, right around in there. Yeah, lower than both of those teams. Then they lost in a fluke to Indy. Indy's got a top 10 defense.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're
There you
going
go.
Tampa Bay. They won by 10. Tampa Bay,
They got a good D.
they're top 5 defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then now you're talking about the Raiders, who you won by 1 point last night. The Raiders are top of the last third, you know. So they haven't played a defense like us. The closest thing to it was the Bucs, and they're allowing an average of 50 yards more per game than we are. And we already talked at the beginning of the show or during the Rattle the Reads, the Bills are putting up 60 more. So that's a flip of 120 yards. Now, I know that the Bills put up a lot of yards against the Dolphins, but if you can start narrowing down these advantages, this is where all that scouting and, you know, practice comes in to where are you better and they worse, and what matchups can you utilize to just bleed them. I think this team and this game frustrates me just because I know they can win. They showed they could win last year, you know. So, and I don't really think that defense is a whole lot different. I don't think their secondary is anything to write home about. They just come up with creative ways to try to put pressure on Josh Allen, just like we need to do with Patrick Mahomes.
Right. This is the first 4-3 defense that we're facing, so it's a whole different scheme as far as run blocking and pass blocking, but they're professionals. They'll figure it out. This could be a game where we do see, depends on what Ken Dorsey's approach is. Is he going to try to run against the Chiefs because you can? Is he going to try to keep Mahomes off the field because you want to try to keep the ball a little longer with running the ball in short passes? Because the Bills can. This is one of those situations, guys, we discussed in the preseason saying the Bills have a lot in with their Swiss Army knife. If they want to bring something to the table and be productive in it, they can. So let's see. It'd be interesting to see. I don't want to predict, but it will be very interesting to see what kind of offense Ken Dorsey brings. Whether it's let's kick some light the tires and light some fires, whatever the phrase is, or are we going to manage the game clock, keep Mahomes off the field, and take the most out of the opportunities we have?
It's interesting, and I gotta let you know. Here we go, folks. We're in overtime. That's right. If you're new or old to the show, we went past 9. We're in overtime, and we got quite a bit to still go over. So, crack another one and hang out. It's overtime.
Big week. It's a big week.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jarrod, what do you got? What do you think, man?
You guys hit a lot of it already, but again, I'll just keep going back to our injury report this past week. Cap them off to save them for this game. I think we're going to see a lot of players coming back and maybe be almost closer to 100%. For some reason, this game, if we win or lose, even if we win, you know, KC's still going to say he's still not beating us in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So we've beaten them in the regular season. This game, we are 4-1. We're going into a bye after this game. So it's one of those games where these players can give it their all, which they always do anyway, but there's a little bit more oomph knowing that there are 2 weeks that they can rest a little bit and then on to Green Bay. But I don't know. I just think the management has played this roster very well with conserving players and testing out new players to see where they are a good fit. And it's exciting for this week because I think we're going to see a little bit more of Dorsey's offense open up a little bit against this team. Like you said, match what Mahomes and that offense is doing. They do trickery, weird plays. Maybe we might see it too this week.
Yeah, I think you got to pull everything out. Frank said, first half is how Swank characterized it. Close to the vest, feel them out. Second half, no holds bar, whatever it takes to win. Absolutely. That's empty out everything, you know.
Both teams are. We forget to mention that even though Kansas City is a good second half team, this Buffalo Bills defense has only allowed 7 points in the second half.
Yeah.
So this is going to be powerhouse versus powerhouse. Andy Reid versus McDermott.
Hell yeah. All right, let's get to some score prediction, bold predictions. Go ahead, Scooter. Start her up.
I'm gonna go. I believe in this team.
I believe.
I believe this offense can't be stopped. So 42 points this week. That's my favorite number if you guys watch the show. And I believe in this defense. I do believe Edmonds comes back. I do believe our defensive line will be stout. Poyer will come back. I think that they probably rested these guys for this occasion. Get some extra film study in, study this defense or offense, and go to work. 42-20.
42-20. Damn. What do you think, Jerry?
This is a hard one. Again, like Scott always says each and every week, this offense is hard to stop. So I have a 45 burger for the Buffalo Bills, and I have 24 for Kansas City. But you can also see them only scoring 10 because this defense is doing very well. So I'm going to stick with 45-24, the Buffalo Bills, only because nobody's been able to stop. The Bills' offense stops itself. Nobody's stopped them yet. They get blundered up and they fumble or they missed extra opportunities, but nobody's really stopped them physically. So Buffalo 45-24.
I like it. I'm gonna go 38-27, and I think for us that's close. I don't think it ever feels close, and I think they keep their foot on it. And the only reason I don't think they score over 40 is because they pace this game.
Right.
And I think if they did not, if Josh played four full quarters, and those two TDs, the interception and the fumble, would have turned into scores, you're talking about over 60 points they probably would have scored. And that's ludicrous. Nobody knows how much Josh Allen can do right now. And
Right.
I think that's awesome. So with all that, I think 38 is a respectful number. I want it to be 50, but we'll go that. So what do you got for a bold prediction there, Jerry?
Bold prediction, I have Devin Singletary, 2 touchdowns. He's going to have over 50 yards rushing and 50 yards receiving.
Damn. What do you think, Scott?
So I want to precede this by saying I know my score is a little outlandish, that 42-20. The 20 points is something I honestly believe in. They haven't played a number one defense. They haven't played our Buffalo Bills defense. And so to give them an over 20-point spread, I honestly do believe that because they haven't played this caliber of defense, and they've only scored an average of 20-something points anyways. So I just want to start off with that. I am a biased person, but I think this is an honest score prediction. My bold prediction is Patrick Mahomes. The Bills are going to somehow keep him in the pocket with Rousseau and Von Miller's experience. Keep him in the pocket. It's going to be a stat of 55% passing percentage for Mahomes. I think he's going to struggle completing passes in that pocket.
I like it. My bold prediction is that Dawson Knox is healthy and shows out a la the last 2 times that they played the Chiefs. He, like Kelsey, is kind of like that guy that they don't have an answer for, or they didn't have an answer for. I think you got to utilize every single weapon you have. I'm looking for Josh to throw to like 9-10 different players, spread the ball around so much and keep them just off balance, not knowing what's hitting them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I think Dawson Knox has a 2 TD game. He might not break 100, but he's going to have a 2 TD game.
I like it.
Get it, Dawson.
Swank's like, I just feel it.
I just
feel it.
Just
Feel my bones.
All right, we're going in for... That's right, the X Factor.
X gonna give it to you.
So, Scooter Magooter, who's your X Factor? What is your X Factor? Tell me
Leslie
about your X
Frazier.
Factor.
Leslie Frazier's my X Factor. He's had a lot of time to prepare for the Chiefs, and I'm not saying like he's only had a week. He's had 4 seasons, 5 seasons to prepare. They haven't changed much. They don't have Tyreek Hill, but like you said, Swank, when you feel that they have a rhythm going, you know what they're going to do, and they do it effectively. Leslie Frazier, you've seen this year in and year out. You had their number last year in the regular season, 13 seconds away from the last playoff. It's your time to shine, Leslie. It's always McDermott versus Reed, and this week I think it might be uh, Leslie Frazier outsmarting their offensive coordinator. So my X factor is Leslie Frazier in that defensive play call.
Nice. That was almost a Jarrod X Factor, by the way.
But wait,
it was a blanket. No, so Jarrod, oh God, what are you going to do?
here comes a nice blanket.
Oh, okay.
The X factor of this game against Mahomes is the
Tour
Buffalo
bus.
Bills defense finishing the play. I'm getting sick of seeing Mahomes scoot out to the right or the left, juke like he's going to go out of bounds, step inside, step backwards, do a little wiggle, throw a touchdown pass. I want to see this defense clearing out everybody and finishing the play on Mahomes. Run through them. If it's out of bounds, then it's out of bounds. You hate to say it, but he screws around so much by that sideline that gets frustrating. He'll stop doing that if you put him down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for the Buffalo Bills defense to keep everything in front of him and finish the damn play on Mahomes every time he gets the ball. Hit him every time.
I like it.
Boom.
My X Factor is also going to be on the defensive side of the ball, but it is not going to be that line. I think the line does what they need to do. I think in this instance, all of these factions have to be firing on all cylinders. So I hope Tremaine's back because a combination of Tremaine and Milano, I think, is key. And I really hope Jordan Poyer's back. Again, not that I don't have faith in the secondary that's out there, but that veteran leadership in the back is what we need. So my X factor is going to be Tremaine Edmonds and Jordan Poyer being healthy and helping these young guys get where they need to be to destroy Patrick Mahomes this Sunday afternoon. We got Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Takes Sports podcast saying we're going to win in all caps with like 15 explanation points, and I love it. We got Tom Hanwire saying, "Sup, guys, go Bills." Josh Cook, X Factor for me is the Mafia showing up to Arrowhead. That stadium is loud. Mafia needs to bring the noise. I like it. He knows from experience. He went to the playoff game. We don't call it by that other name on this show. Frank Mullen says the X Factor, the Nickelback versus Kelsey, which would be Taron Johnson. I like
There you
that.
go. Yep.
Thomas takes again. This is our time. This is our destiny. I love it, dude. All right, so we also do some pick'ems. I'm just gonna very slowly uncover this pick'em record sheet here. As you can see, down on the bottom there's Jarrod is actually, he has, I think for the first time ever on the K-Gun Report, a losing record by anyone. Is this the first?
Yeah, it's the first time.
Did you pick the Raiders to win 5 times? What did you do?
No, I mean I picked 3 wrong games. No, I did have the Raiders though. I did have the Raiders winning. So that was a close one.
Yeah. We tried to give you that softball, man, last week. Scott is sitting at 18-9, and your man right here, 20-7. Sometimes I even surprise myself. We have all picked the Bills to win this Sunday. We also do the AFC East remaining games, as well as a couple toilet bowls or whatever games we think are fun. You guys feel free to pick along in the comments.
Jared's Ray Charles picks. Thanks, Chris.
Throw that up there. Let's see. So, for your consideration, we have Patriots at Browns, 1 o'clock game this Sunday. Who do you want to pick first, Jared? I'm going to give you whoever you want to pick first. I'll pick first. Do you want to pick
Swank,
first?
go ahead.
You want
First.
me to pick first?
You're leading it.
All right. Well, you know me, man, and this sucks because I hate the Patriots, but I'll never pick the Browns. So I think Zeppy's going to zip it right up there, boy. Squash them brownies.
I was thinking the same thing. I'd love to see this guy just destroy the team we all hate the most.
Yeah.
And I'm going Patriots too. Let's get them some false hope about their next Tom Brady.
Hell yeah.
I'll go Cleveland.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take
Sure,
that
yeah.
soundbite, dude. That's gonna be the pick'em sound.
I'll take Cleveland. I'll take the
Cleveland.
shitty Cleveland Browns. All right, gotta come back somehow.
Joey Hatch. Wow, Swank, that's a shocker. Of course, we all picked Buffalo to win. Yeah, buddy. Oh man, got a lot of Browns picks in the comments. Josh Cook,
Yeah.
Chicken Wing, Chris Christian, Mike V's he's on the patch train.
There
John
you go.
John says Browns. All
Love
right.
love the comments coming in, guys. By the way, this is
Yeah.
something we pride ourselves in and pride you guys in is the constant back and forth with you guys. It's awesome, and it earns you free stuff to win. So we'll have stuff out there later on in the year to give to you guys for all this comment for sure.
Oh hell yeah. Brent Thomas says love to see the first 0-0 tie. Hate them both.
Hate them both. I am depressed, Josh.
Josh Cook says Jarrod said
I'm sitting at
Florida
13 and 14.
Man, how do you? Man, okay.
Just shut up. Just shut up, both of you.
Hey, man,
Minnesota
I didn't
is
say
going to Miami to play on them Dolphins that were sitting up on top of the AFC East for a while there that everybody was hooing hawing about. Scott, you lead the way this time.
Injuries don't matter. Injuries don't matter
Yeah.
except when it's our team losing.
Yeah.
Minnesota's going to win this one. Go Minnesota. Go Skull. Skull.
I got them.
I'll say
too.
Minnesota too. Okay.
See, you're supposed to pick against it, man. You gotta try and pull ahead, bro.
Miami fans are really making it hard for me to pick Miami at all. So, damn Twitter. So I'm.
Josh says that he's throwing my picks into FanDuel this week, dude. I really thought about it. Jared's been making jokes about that for like the last 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Might as well. We'll do $5 picks. Why not?
If this was a 2-hour show, we throw in spread and money line and all that stuff and
Sure.
go with who we thought, but we just don't have
I
time.
mean, it's only an hour and 15 right now.
I know, right? Thanks, guys, for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. The New York Jets are traveling to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. What are you guys thinking about that? I'll lead the way for this one.
Okay.
Green Bay.
Packers lost the way they did against the Giants. Giants 4-1. Who would have thunk
Ugh.
Dable? There you go. Packers are pissed. Jets are riding on a high that's inappropriate. So Packers.
Inappropriate.
It's an
For
inappropriate amount of high that's going on right now.
Their rookies all had a good game at once, and now there's like, oh my god, this is the next up and
Yeah.
come. And you know what? I'm sorry to say this, guys. The hype video that our man, who's the guy at Good Morning of Football? I can't remember his name.
Kyle
He did
Brandt.
yes, Kyle Brandt did the hype videos for the Buffalo Bills. He just recently did one for the New York Jets. I hate to say this because I love Kyle Brandt's energy, but the whole Bills montage that he puts on kind of lost some
Dampened.
strength because now he did one for the Jets. It's like pick one team and go with it,
Well,
Kyle.
you know, now it's not like the sexy pick to go with the Bills because it's expected, right? So now he's trying to pick the next big guy and whatever. I mean, it's all
It loses some
entertainment.
oomph.
It's all
it loses some
entertainment.
oomph. Yeah.
I mean, he was our guy. And he's still whatever. He's fine.
But Swank, at some point, it just becomes a guy that keeps yelling just to
Yeah.
get hyped up, and
No,
then
you're right.
it's like stick to one team and don't go with it. Sorry,
I'll share
Kyle.
this.
I love you, Kyle.
I'll share it on Twitter tomorrow.
Do it.
All right. Did I pick?
Nope.
Packers.
Green Bay, though, right?
Packers.
All right. Let's get 2 toilet bowls, Swank.
All right.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah, man.
Oh boy, starting off with Thursday Night Football. I'm going to pick this one: Commanders versus Bears.
Yeah.
That's not a good one.
Commies versus the Bees. I'll go Bears.
I hope they earn some FanDuel money off this one. I'm going to my best friend Josh Davies' team, the Commanders. I think Wentz looks horrible, but the one time he's going to look good is on primetime football. There you go.
That was going to be my same push. I got them going with the point spread over 30.5 points and with a win. So I'm going Washington too.
And you heard it here first. FanDuel. Bears.
Swank's thinking, oh, I just gained a game on you
Oh,
guys.
there we go.
All right. Well, isn't there another one? Isn't Seattle playing Arizona?
Yep.
I don't think
That
that's.
crappy one?
I don't think that's a bad game, is it?
Right. Because
I'm kind of struggling with another one here. No.
Fandemonium. Let's have them call him. Pick a
Yeah,
game that you
pick a
want us to
game.
pick.
Yeah.
First one up there, we'll pick that one and see who wins.
Jags Colts. I mean, the Colts can be surprising. It's kind of a boring ass game to me. Ravens Giants. Did the Giants squeak out a win on Baltimore? I mean, I really don't see that happening. They gotta start playing somebody.
I agree.
Niners,
I can't
Falcons,
I can't
that's gonna
believe
be a blowout.
I can't believe that NFC East right now. The records in the NFC East is crazy.
Yeah.
5-0, 4-1, 3-4-1, 4-1. I can't remember exactly what it
San
is,
Francisco and Atlanta.
but there's one.
Come on, dude. I mean, San Fran though, like their defense is out of control, and Garoppolo. We can pick that one. That's one that we wouldn't normally pick anyway. Like those two
Right.
teams, I feel like we never do. So let's do that game. You want to do that?
Well, Mike Volk wants us to do Cowboys versus Eagles. This is a very interesting game. It's not a toilet bowl game, but it's a big
That's a good
NFC
game.
East game. Let's do it. Let's do that one.
All right.
Okay.
Eagles undefeated. Cowboys are 4-1, I believe, something like that.
Who starts?
Rush is I know, right? Rush is undefeated there as a quarterback for the Cowboys, and they look good. Their defense is tough. Their defense is a defense I believe might be able to stop the Eagles. You know what? I'm going to give the Eagles their first loss. As much as I can't stand the Cowboys, I think their defense could put a hurting on Hurts.
I think Hurts too mobile. I think that this defense is sweet, and they're sack heavy, and Micah Parsons is a nut, but I think that he can extend plays, move the pocket, take off when he needs to. I'm going Eagles, man.
Okay.
I'm going Eagles too. Philadelphia Eagles. When you say Hurts is mobile, it reminded me of that O.J. Simpson commercial back in the day when he was running for Hurts. Philadelphia wins.
White Broncos, half off.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
No, it's funny. The new Broncos came out and everybody bought them. And Scott has a Bronco. And I go, you know what? You bought a Bronco, huh? You might as well put a number 32 on the back of that car.
I didn't go white, so we're good.
Brian Van Slyke's here. What's up, boys?
What's up, Brian?
What up, what up, what up?
Breaking tables.
Well, you're here just in time for us to end the show. So
A great show at that. Thank you, boys. That was
yeah,
a good
man.
show.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out. All the comments, support, love. Jarrod, hit us with a quick final thought.
Big game before the bye week. Look for a decent looking injury report Friday. I'm banking on some guys playing this game that have taken off the last 2 weeks. I'm waiting for a game to see the Bills offense play flawlessly. They're getting pretty damn close, and to do it against Kansas City would be perfect before the bye. Don't forget to tune in and watch these guys. I think the Sunday sessions might be a little later. They've been spot on these last couple shows with Ryan Thomas. So get on there and get the inactives. And I just can't wait to watch this game on a Sunday evening, have some dinner, have some cocktails, enjoy hopefully a Buffalo Bills 5-1 going into bye week. And I'll see everybody next Tuesday. Keep believing, guys. This depth chart is amazing, and we have a great team to watch over here in Buffalo. Go Bills.
Hell yeah. What do you got, Scoot?
My final thought is, be loud. I know this is only 2 home games in the first 6 weeks, guys, but we're traveling to Kansas City. Those of you that can make it, be loud. For us that can't, hey, we have a bad history in our bye weeks. Obviously, the Cardinal game, the Titan game, the last couple of years. We need to realize if we need to make the next step, this is the step we need to make. Let's go into the bye week with a victory and prepare for the next game. It's huge. It's huge. And if this is a playoff indicated game, it's a seeding game. It's everything you hope it would be this late in the season. And you need to slap them in the mouth, show them what we're all about. We don't need to beat them by 3 points. We need to cover that spread by a significant amount and show these guys that the Buffalo Bills are for real. And it doesn't matter if you're playing the worst team in the league or the best team in the league. We're here to put up some points and make sure you don't score a lot. So I'm all about it, guys. Pandemonium, love it. Take your time. Watch the K-Gun report or the Sunday sessions on Sunday. Join that game thread that we throw out there, and let's just have a good time, watch this game, and like Jarrod said, hopefully come out with that victory on Sunday.
Nice. This is a measuring stick, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think every year we get better. Every year Josh shows out. Every year Diggs is stronger. We got new players. We got depth. We got the coach, we got the offensive coordinator, we've got the defensive coordinator, we got the GM. All the pieces are there. We're going for it. We swung for the fences. We got this big name linebacking, pass rushing machine that's just morphed our whole line. Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie. You know, this is it. This is our time. We need to go out and get it. You just got to get it and finish it. They have all the veteran leadership they need. They have all the young talent that they need. They just need to go out and finish this game. Start hot. Don't make mistakes. Put your foot on their throat and finish it. That's it.
Yep.
And you can join us every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the K-Gun Report right here on your favorite streaming platform. That's YouTube, that's Facebook, that's Twitch, that's Twitter. You can also catch up on the audio, like one of our friends did earlier, on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, anywhere else that you get your podcast. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and all them other places. That's it.
That's it. Let's finish off this revenge tour, guys. Let's go 3-0 to the bye week. Go Bills.
I can't wait to watch this game. It's going to be a fun one. See y'all next week. Go Bills.
Go Bills!
This is a dangerous group.